Yeah, it's August 24th, 2018. It is 7:21 p.m. I'd give it about 4 or 5 minutes ago. I'm down here, and water started overflowing in the drain. One is one of the common problems that's happening, like something's blocking the sewage line. I've seen different techniques used in New York, and someone advising me how quick it can be done of installing an electronic block to the sewer line and being able to control it remotely, which the city has access to and does it every day. So it ain't something that's completely top secretive, high tech. Matter of fact, it's kind of low tech and been out for a while. That's not the point of the video. The point of the video is I talk about a lot of electronic jamming. Excuse the cigarette in the video there. I recently restarted smoking. But anyways, any and all electronics, anything that has electronics, even your own body. But anyways, first time that's happened, I've turned the washing machine off due to the overflow, and when I went to start it up, it had that buzzing sound, and a lot of things do that. Like it just freeze locks the electricity from either flowing to the device or whatnot. There was a live wire upstairs, and was there for a while that went to a hood range for an oven. And it never sparked. There's a pan holder there that holds metal pans. Touched it all the time. One day someone was making fun about me getting electrocuted, and out of the blue, there was also an argument of some sort going on, or some type of fuss somewhere. That's close range, high tensions. And I went to go grab a pan off that pot rack, and it blew a fuse in the house. It sparked and arced while my hand. I got off quick enough to not be shocked, or at least completely shocked. I've been shocked even by an electric stove, which they say that you ain't supposed to be able to be shocked by, right here in this house. Anyways, with that being said, for as long as that wire was there, not that it should have been touched in the metal pan rack, not that it always was, I pushed back. I was curious about something else, so I wasn't watching what I was doing. But I put my hand on that wire, stuff like that, never sparked. It was there, like a year, something like that, maybe a little more, to where there wasn't a hood range, but just the pot holder there. Hood range is not installed yet. Anyways, so someone talking about utilizing some type of electric DC current breaker or some shit like that externally. And it was already said, I've talked to mental health about electronic jamming and hardcore magnetism type of stuff, like spoons moving themselves across the counter. They said, in ideal, it would take a lot of generators, a lot of electricity to run all that stuff and whatnot. And technically, the shop across the street, which is where I know positively the main problem is coming from, but the main problem's major, like a bunch of people involved, so neighbors, but the shop is one main point of concentration. Anyways, they had installed, and it's in Google Photos, but only half of the situations are there as far as I understand, of it, generators, power boxes, and all that stuff going into the shop. They don't do anything at that shop. They do supposedly Christian work and make sandwiches voluntarily, but they do other things. But why would you need so much of electric generators? We're talking like 9 in Google Photos, I think it is. But no matter what, there was tons of them sitting in the parking lot. And then that was in 2009, and all of a sudden, 2011, all kinds of weird shit started happening, even before then. Anyways, so electronic jamming, it's not just that single person. There's a lot of other neighbors involved with the situation pertaining to, like there's some type of internal agents for me. Not just investigation, but all kinds of other bullshit. Cuba is something I want to mention. Cuba, where the people had talked about mind-altering situations, I do believe, hearing loss, weird shit happening over there. If they can talk about it, why can't we talk about it? It's not psycho, it's not psychotic. I've even probably more than likely been in contact with some of the victims from that. There's a lot of dumb crap that goes on like that, something that I talk across the internet, I come in contact with something, or sometimes I'm out in public and I'll just talk to somebody, and end up the information that I say to them gets exposed, or I'm here in the house and what I research eavesdropped on, and someone try to create a situation out of it, like they can make contact and bring those people here and utilize force from those people anyhow. With that being said, let's get back into not just electronic jamming. There's tons of stuff going on, but the jamming itself, computers burning out, cell phones burning out, if not jammed up, inoperable for time being, you shut it off, take the battery out, or dysfunctional. Buttons don't work, apps opening by themselves, videos ending themselves, data theft, all the other goodies. Like I said, all electronics, not just computers. Most people's like the smart stuff, data, personal, furnaces, wash machines, air conditioners, even the electric box, kick and fuse breakers, stuff like that. As far as I know, some type of DC currency kind of gun dispels a current that can interfere with other currents elsewhere. I had the house tapped with a line tap for electricity theft, and it was untrustworthy. The individual that did that seemed more associated with the people across the street and did not do a thorough job of the situation, even though I have a report from it and trying to tell me the situation is correct when there was a little bit of supporting other evidence. It would have came out at least different, if not incorrect. But anyways, that being said, it came back on. I'm gonna do that one more time. Boom. And then my shirt's not kicking over, and pretty much. Anyways, strange stuff. Just want to have a little chit chat about a washing machine and jamming functionality, dryers. It doesn't matter what it is. Even personal body. Just imagine your heart stopping, because it works on a DC current, I do believe, and it being able to be utilized to use a kind of electrical gun, but I won't call it gun, a device. Hand-shaped, looks like an iPhone, or maybe a little thicker, being able to expel a direct ray of DC current. I'll say AC, but magnetical charge or whatnot. Seen some things in New York City, seen some things way back in the day on the internet, but a lot of things I say is from New York City or traveling, even in Washington, D.C. And that's the one quick thing that I want to bring up, GPS jamming to the point that the phone was off. I did not get correct mapping directions in Washington, D.C., which you think I would have, and it was already said by somebody else. They was using their phone, and GPS was just fine. You're standing 2 feet from me. Why is your GPS fine and mine's not? As far as I know. If not just 2 feet, let's start walking away with the yep, I understand. Mine's working fine still, because they was checking their own shit to see if it would mess up as it was walking away, maybe to catch me. But just electronic jamming stuff, weird, not even just weird, it's annoying as shit, but not even annoying, dominating, power, control. Also on top, it takes a lot of money, just like mental health had talked, and I hate throwing mental health all the time, but hey, people want to be stigmated. You're nuts for trying to act like you're a targeted individual and you're having these life problems. Well, that's good. You want to go talk to a therapist, you offer that up. I already did. It's the type of stuff that I offer to the people that like smarting off and being sarcastic and asinine in situations. Anyways, they're the ones that pit a lot of that stuff out, but now these people who are doing this have a lot of money. I don't know. Dude just bought a $120,000 to $300,000 shop building across the street. Has at least 9 different type of generators sitting in his parking lot on Google Photos, Google Maps. When they was they sat out there they was mapping the neighborhood. So it ain't like I was spying. That's one thing. Even though It'd be perfectly right. It's a public parking lot to a certain situation, public space, public street it comes off of, to be able to view and take a picture of the situation, even though I didn't have a camera back then. But that's the type of nasty shit going on. We can, you can't type of situation. But with mental health and, money, and that's where they was like, uh-oh. Just whop, everything they said, are you sure, it does this and that, you need money, they would need a lot of power, they need this and that. Electric company, all the electric boxes, the money spent on the electric boxes, those freaking things wasn't cheap, like $10,000 a piece plus. Let's see, the shop itself, the property, tons of other things, cars, vehicles, organization. We're talking about a lot of money. So there goes that situation for profiling of, hey, are they financially stable enough to do this? There you go. I don't know. I'm handing this is what I base my feelings and understandings on, and to me it matches exactly what you're trying to say. If I'm going to criticize, I'd need to stabilize that situation, and did. Anyways. Just a little bit more ramble type of situation. Hopefully, you look at the webpage, targetofunlawfulacts.com. There's videos there. There should be some favorite videos on my channel here that shows a lady that went through some similar things, but definitely not as high-tech or severe as my situation in certain extents. Food contamination, poisoning, people breaking into her house, actually contaminating her food, or, sneaking, spying type of breaking in to where you almost undetected, safes broken, and all the money left behind except for a notebook or something like that, the dryer. There's tons of things this video shows. They put it on the news, and they talk about targeted individuals, and a professional, and a lawyer, and something else is also a part of that. She won a case and was represented for that case, and it being proved positive as far as I remember. And that's the reason why I like saying, hey, this is what I view, and some of my concentration per se for support when someone's dragging it down. That doesn't matter, or that's odd. It's so odd this lady went on the news and proved her situation, which is it's still severe, especially when you get into food poisoning or contamination directly inside the house. Outside the house is the most easiest to do, but inside the house, especially if you're alone or whatnot. So check out the website and see if you can, I'll make sure the video's up there on the front page. You'll see a news story, I think it is, or targeted individual. It'll be a news station broadcasting. There's other stalking information, stuff like that, and I'm going to try to build more onto it, at least some self-help, click-in-throughs. Not trying to be here making a support team, because I need the support myself, but I'm going to take an adventure of my life and profiling it and producing it just like some of these other people did. She did a news story. I have YouTube in my videos. I've done videos over the last 8 years. No, I take it back, the last 7 years, almost every day, like a video journal and diary, rather than just writing stuff down, even though I do like writing some stuff down, especially when you have data theft and corruption going on, and it's intentional. Some of that can be proven. Audio dubbing over, or obsoleting, omitting audio from an audio file, especially if you're trying to record something in public and they're given mouth or given a situation, and somehow the information, the files there plays, but you don't catch part of the audio, or it's dubbed out like something lessened it. Anyways, with that being said, what was I going to say with that? I'm not here to be, I need the help myself type of situation, but I've done video journals and stuff like that. Stalking.org, domesticviolence.org, stuff like that all say if you're feeling like you're being stalked, harassed, log, record as much information as you can. Date, time, location, what they was doing, clothing, what's happening, and then when you start getting in suspicion that the electronics are being utilized against you, what's the symptoms, what's happening, what's around you, can you move from one location to another, have you tried situations, what have you tried, depending on what you're getting into. So, just for help, that's the way I went, so you don't have to feel lonely. Or for myself, I'm starting to build a little more concrete stability of it's not wrong to log things just the way the other people are logging me. I found logs that they accidentally lost in the middle of a parking lot, and I realized it was a log of my whole life throughout the whole day. I wasn't in the right mood, and I ended up losing that book this same night. I was at work, and I worked outside in parking lots, multitudes of them across the city, and somehow the notebook in my possession got lost while I had it. Or they realized I had it and somehow snuck and got to it. But anyways, so don't feel bad about logging your situation. Self-help orgs for all kinds of stuff will tell you the same thing. I have a police video. The police did it. Sheriff's. It's a real nice stalking understanding and a nationwide problem. Watch that video. They'll tell you the same thing. And video recordings are great. Sometimes better than writing it down. I'm not going to say either or is best. I'm going to definitely say video will be best, especially if you can see what the situation is or see yourself. You'll always understand the emotional pains that you went through. You can explain to other people, and they can visually see the emotional pain, or something that only visualization would be able to explain for the moment that it happened. Anyways, y'all have fun. Hopefully, something can happen to where the country and law enforcement and the situations can be resolved better off than being dubbed off and stigmated of being psycho, or you don't know, or we can't help. And that's what part of the video, where some of the stalking situations, usually domestic stalking for domestic violence or something like that, but it does lead into other things. There is a little touch bit here and there of like organized stalking and the type of techniques that's used with that. And talking about the misconduction across the United States and misrepresentation type of situation, I believe. Anyways, just check it out. It's pretty cool. targetofunlawfulacts.com. I'm going to press stop on this video. You guys have a good one.